Welcome back to Positively Port St. Lucie. This is Sarah Prohaska, Public Information Officer with the City of Port St. Lucie. We just talked about tourism and all the great things that attract tourists to our area, so that leads right into our next segment, which is an event that does attract lots of people from around the area, locals, but also people from outside the country even, and it is our Treasure Coast Championship. It is a bodybuilding championship that happens every year at the Civic Center. And I have Frank Nappy from our Parks and Recreation Department.
How you doing?
To tell us all about it. And we have two special guests here with us today, and I will let them introduce themselves. Do you mind introducing yourself and telling us how long you've been bodybuilding?
My name's Jordan Vanderflyer. I've been bodybuilding about 4.5 years now, consistently. The Treasure Coast show was actually the first bodybuilding competition I ever did.
Great.
So it's great to come back as a guest poser and represent the sport each year.
Perfect.
And he was my client in that show.
Oh, okay. So we have another guest poser here. Here we go.
My name is Pat McBride. I've been competing since 2010.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I started my journey in bodybuilding in 2003 in Venice Beach, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing it quite a while, and a native Floridian here in Stewart Martin County. So I'm proud and happy to be here to represent.
Great. Perfect. All right. So Frank, let's get it started. What is this? What are we talking about here?
It's our 8th annual bodybuilding and bikini show.
Yeah.
Those are all important.
Okay.
We do it at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center. Of course, it's a great venue.
Yes.
It's probably one of the best ones that the MPC has, really.
All right.
We really take care of the competitors. We get a lot of local competitors from Melbourne, Vero, Tampa, South Miami. We really do. It's an entire Florida show, so anybody from the state can compete.
Okay.
And we do get some from the north, and like I just mentioned to you, we had a guy from Peru.
Okay.
He's going to come in and he'll do a show because we're not a national qualifier, so he can come in and compete with the locals.
Perfect.
So that's kind of always interesting. Last year we had a gentleman from Venezuela. So it's really an exciting show. We like doing it. We love putting it out for the competitors and the spectators. I mean, it's a great local event to come to at the Civic Center.
Yep. And this is the 8th year, correct?
Yeah, 8th annual year.
8th year. So I know we've done this several years in the past. And usually you draw about how many people? How many spectators?
Normally between 500 and 700 people.
Okay, that's a good draw.
Yeah, last year we were a little low because we had a storm off the coast, but hopefully this year.
Keep our fingers crossed. We'll have a nice sunny, beautiful day. Yes. Even though this is inside, right?
Yes.
It's all inside. So even if it's raining, don't worry about it.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. We have the morning show starts at 10. It's a pre-judging.
Okay.
It goes till probably 12 or 1, and then we take a nice break, and then we come back. Doors open at like 4:30 or 5, and then we do the nighttime shows at 6.
Okay.
That's when the actual show comes on.
Okay.
The lights go down, the music comes up, a little bit more of a show.
Okay.
effect.
Yeah, exactly. And about how many people compete or take place in it?
Let's see, it's
participate?
ticked up about 10-15% each year. So
Okay.
last year we had 65, plus we had 38 crossovers, meaning that the same competitor can come up on the stage in a different category.
Okay.
So they're considered a crossover.
Okay.
So we had a total of 105, I think, up on the stage last year.
Oh,
which
that's
is
great.
really good. Yeah.
Okay. And is it too late if someone wants to participate? Is it too late to sign up?
Oh, no, you can register to the day of the show.
Okay.
If you register now, you get a little break on the registration. It's $75 now. The day of the show, or actually the night before, Friday night, is $100.
And that can be found at our website?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Okay,
On the Parks and Recs page,
Okay.
There's a window with the Treasure Coast Championships on there. You just click that window and it goes right to the registration page.
Perfect. And that would be www.cityofpsl.com. Just go there, go to find Parks and Rec page, and all the information is right there.
Correct.
So that would be a great place for someone to go if you want to go to the show, to view it as a spectator, or still if you want to participate.
Absolutely, yeah. All the ticket
Okay.
prices and show times and all that are on that page also.
All right. So Jordan and Pat, you guys are going to be guest posers, right? What does that mean?
Go ahead, Jordan. Basically, we kind of take our physiques where we're not in full contest prep mode.
Okay.
So we're not quite as lean as some of the competitors, but we just kind of put on a show for everyone that's there. We've had a little more experience in the sport, so we kind of showcase what it's like to be in off season as well, what our lifestyle is like, and we spend a little more time on stage. We choreograph a routine to music, and we just basically put a show on for the audience.
Great. That's fun. Okay, the same thing here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really, it's a chance for us to, I think, to give a good performance for the audience
Yeah.
and
Get the crowd pumped.
Get the crowd pumped, and
Yeah.
also for the competitors backstage. It's exciting when you have seasoned competitors coming in, and it's motivation. Every show that I've done, it's neat to see bigger guys that have been doing it a while come in and really showcase, and it's really inspiring. So it's a real honor to be able to do this again. My third year doing it, so I'm very proud to be a part of it.
And you said, so you got into this in Venice Beach, California. That's kind of like a bodybuilding
That's a mecca.
mecca.
The Mecca,
Yes,
right.
That's the place, I guess. So were you living out there? And then
Yes.
you just,
Yeah, I was actually graduated college, and I went out there to, I was in sports nutrition sales.
Okay.
So my history, I've been doing this in sports nutrition bodybuilding, essentially since I graduated from college. I'm a career firefighter as well.
Okay.
So my whole life revolves around this. And I hooked up with a pro bodybuilder out there. He's my mentor and one of my best friends, Will Harris. I attribute a lot of my success to the things I've learned training under him for about 2 years. And it's where Arnold, all the classics,
yeah,
Frank
yeah.
Zane trained. And, I'm very lucky that I have that history and experience. So
Yeah.
I try to share that with as many people as possible. And happy to be here in Port St. Lucie, Stewart, where I live, and to share that knowledge with, the people that I come in contact with.
perfect. All right, what about you, Jordan? What got you into it?
Honestly, I'd been kind of a fitness junkie, so to
Okay.
say, my whole life, but had never really found my niche.
Okay.
I was living in just outside St. Louis, Missouri at the time, and I had a buddy that I worked with. He said, "Hey, you want to come out, check out the show?" I sat in the show, and I was like, the next day, when does my diet start?
Okay.
So
You were hooked, huh?
I was hooked from day one. I loved it. I spent the next 2-3 years just putting on size, getting into the shape that I needed to be in before I dieted down for my first show, and was fortunate enough to meet Pat at the time when I'd moved back down to Florida, and I was like, hey, I want someone with a little more experience and knowledge. I'd seen what he had accomplished as well, and I was like, let's see what we can do at this Treasure Coast show.
Yeah, that's
I was
great.
fortunate enough to live literally 3 minutes from the show at the time,
Perfect.
so
Okay.
it worked out great.
All right, that's awesome. How much do you eat? Curious.
That's a good question. Right now, it varies depending on if I'm dieting for a show
for a
or
show,
off season. Right now, as I'm trying to gain weight and put on size and see where the career is going to take me, I'm averaging 6 to 8 meals a day,
Wow.
probably in the 5,000 to 6,000 calorie range.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So we're talking a lot of food.
Science. There is a whole science to it.
There is a
Yeah.
science. I mean, when I say 5,000 to 6,000 calories of food, it's a lot of whole foods.
Yeah.
Everything is a lot cleaner foods.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my days where I may want to enjoy a slice of pizza. That's okay. But my day-to-day eating, I mean, everything's portioned out. Everything's exact measurements.
Exactly.
And that's really the key. It's to the success of it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Are you training for anything in particular right now?
Right
Jordan?
now, it's just really right now it's putting on some good size, really maintaining right now, getting ready for next year. I'm
Okay.
working on my master's degree right
Oh,
now
great.
as well. So I'd like to be well balanced. So
Okay.
competing's, I'm going to keep competing. Next year is really my goal date as I want to improve on some body parts. And in the same, just eating healthy and competing is very time consuming and physically and mentally. So it's good to take a little bit of time to reset your batteries
Yeah,
and not be too consumed with it to, have a balanced lifestyle. So right now I'm focusing on that, my family, and then next year we'll be 100% back in ready for contest prep. So.
All right. Well, that's great that you can come to this show and kind of have a place to go in the meantime,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to kind of share your knowledge and help out some of these other competitors.
Oh, yeah. No, we're really proud to have these guys. They're excellent. They really are. And they're just exactly what the show is about. You've got to come off. You've got to cycle off of it. You've got to really take care and reset, like Pat said, you reset your mind, reset
Yeah.
your body.
Yeah.
Because your goals are important, but they're long term. So you've got to really maintain a nice schedule, and it's discipline. And these guys, it's discipline
Yeah.
all
Oh,
the time.
goodness, I can imagine.
24/7.
Yes.
But we've had some great successes. Like, I think it was 2 years ago, we had a young lady that came in, and she lost 92 pounds
Wow.
in a year to
Wow.
compete. But she did the same thing. She just happened to see a show,
Yeah.
and it inspired her enough, and now she's going to change her life for the rest of her life. She's going to be better off.
Yeah.
So it really is. Those kind of stories like that are fantastic.
Yeah,
And they're all over. They
Yeah,
really are all the
That's
time.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Frank, right before we're running out of time, but I do want to mention our sponsors for this show. Could you know
Humana's
some
our
off the
biggest
top?
sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah. Hilton Garden Inn is our host hotel.
Okay, great.
Okay. We have some new Massage Envy, 2 Massage Envies coming this year.
Okay.
We have a Pro Performance. We have Bottoms Up Swimwear, Fit Fixins Food, GNC, local GNC, Divine Nutrition. I don't think I'm missing any. I probably have a few that I'm not catching right now, but yeah, they're all going to be on our banners and stuff. But
Okay.
they're all it's really cool to get into 24-hour health as a
Okay.
new sponsor. These
Okay.
are all new people that have come on board because they know that they're able to help in that industry, that health field.
Yeah,
you
specific.
can help with the stretching. Massage Envy is going to do some table
Okay.
massage, chair massages, stretching, and so forth. So yeah, we've got quite a good sponsorship going on.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all, gentlemen, for coming on today. We
Our
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. Highlight this. And oh my goodness, we haven't said what day and time, have we yet?
Saturday, August 26th. Like I say, the prejudging starts at 10.
Okay.
Doors open at 8:30. The show price for that is $20.
Okay.
The night show starts at 6. Doors open at 4:30. That price is $30, or you can get a full ticket an entire day for $40.
Okay.
We do have a guest pass for. Each competitor has a coach pass for $25 all day.
Okay.
And then we have I believe it's under 12 is $10.
All right. So any information, any questions you have, check the website first, www.cityofpsl.com, and that should be able to answer your questions. If not,
Absolutely.
give us a call here at City Hall, and we will be happy to help point you in the right direction, because this is a great community event, really.
Absolutely, yes, it is.
All right.
Lot
Well,
of fun.
thank you so much, all of you, for taking
you.
some
Yeah,
time to
appreciate
come
it.
on here with us today. We really appreciate it.
All right, cool.
Thanks. And we'll be right back after these messages.